How you doing, guys? RazuyaPoker here for another installment of 10NL Zoom 4 tables, Pokerstars.com, running PokerTracker 4, which is the heads-up display that you see with all the statistics. It tells me everything that I would like to know about each player depending on how many hands I've had with them. So you'll see here at the top left, my name. In red is the amount of hands I've played this session. And a lot of other info, which I can get into a little bit later on. 3-bet pre, we'll fold ace-jack. I mean, with the ace-jack, we can call once here. This player's short-stacked. We have a player behind, so we can, like there's so many hands that this player can have in this situation that if they jam here, it's sort of really difficult for me to fold. I mean, they could have, obviously, pocket kings. They could have ridiculous hands like 7-8 gets there, you know, ace-9, things like that. But I just cannot lay down ace-jack in that situation. So we do stack them for roughly 50 bigs with ace-jack. So we just let them bet into us. I mean, if we are, say, for example, raising that flop, we're going to get it in regardless. However, with that other player to act behind, I mean, if they jam, the decision we have is pretty much fold. I mean, the equity the fold equity is fine too. You could consider it, but against someone who isn't particularly deep stacked, I think it's definitely always better to just flat there and exploit the weaker player. Now, with playing Zoom, I mean, the variance is obviously huge. It's huge regardless of which stake you're playing because the game is the same. A lot of misconception around Zoom poker is that it's unbeatable. You hear stories like, oh, it's just so hard. 10NL's like, you know, 2-5 at the local casino. Well, I mean, usually 2-5 at the local casino is easier. But I would say to you, put in the volume, make the right decisions. It's still the same game. You can still win. Yeah, maybe because of the whole people being more nittier, playing less hands. If that's a well-known fact, then you should exploit that. You should raise more. You should 3-bet, 4-bet more. It doesn't mean that you should get creative and treat it like you're in a season of high-stakes poker, but it does mean that you should pay attention to your opponents and adjust accordingly. If you're playing a 12-8 VPIP PFR, prepare to be exploited because I will do it. If you're playing, you know, like a 20-15-ish, which I'm sort of at now, I mean, that's a better angle to take. The reason being is because obviously a lot of players at Zoom aren't really playing to pick up or take information and you know, all that sort of stuff. But there are a select few that do. And if you can exploit the regs, then you're taking advantage of not only all of the recreational players and getting their money, but you are able to take money from the people that regularly play the game, and that is something to be not only proud of, but your win rate will go up. We're calling me the King 10 suited. This is going to be a nice community pot. We can fire again with the set. King Jack is a call suited, obviously on the button. We get raised. I mean, what hands beat us here? Nothing. So do we flat or do we just jam? I feel like we jam. Do we respect that under the gun raise? Yeah. Nitty fold, but trust me, out of the period, the volume of hands that I've put in, that sort of bet there screams ace, king, or better. Now, with the set of aces, I'm going to have to review that hand. You guys have to give me some info. I was jamming the turn because there was obviously flush draw. You know, there could be jack 10 amongst that. There could be diamonds. There could be straight draws. There could be a ton of stuff. There's probably no reason for me just to flat call there. A lot of the time, if they're willing to call a flop and raise the turn. So that explains why, with the aces, I did that. Ace King's obviously an open. Queens, we can pump it up. Some people will flat with queens here, but I think it just lets a lot of other people in with getting the right odds to call. So you'll start to go against, you know, 10-9 suited, queen, jack suited, 7-8 suited, ace-jack, all that sort of stuff, which will outflop you some of the time. We will obviously fire again. We're really obviously looking at getting value from jacks here. We get 3-bet. I think we can go ahead and 4-bet with the ace-king. We can fire again here, I think. I mean, like, what are we scared of? Pocket 10? Like, what are we scared of? Pocket 10? Really? I don't think so. Okay, that's pocket 10s. I mean, there's no other hand he can have, right? So with 4, I mean, we're getting huge odds. Pocket 10s, kings maybe. Pocket 10s, jacks. We could beat jacks. So he either has 10s or jacks here most of the time, I think. 6s, I doubt. Ace, king of clubs. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be tough for me to fold here. An unknown. Oh, I think we just get it in and make the sick call and hope for the best. Okay, 9s. Interesting. So obviously I'm really only scared of 10s. So everything else we beat. So the argument there for my call is, okay, so 10s beat us with a set. Everything else, I mean, effectively, if he had kings or aces, he's definitely re-raising there. I doubt that a player is flat calling under the gun in that situation. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, it's a brilliant bet by that player if I did have, ace king or something like that. But effectively, I'm not going to be stacking off in that situation ever, unless I just don't think I'm ever going to be bluffing in that situation too often. Open with the ace-jack offsuit. 10-9's a fold. So you might notice a lot of changes in my game. A lot more thinking aloud. A lot more putting my opponent on a hand. That's something that I've been working on quite severely. I mean, it's one of those things that a lot of players don't do at the micro limit. So, for example, whether you're playing 2NL, 5NL, 10NL, 25NL, 50NL, blah, 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 start playing 1 or 2 tables of whatever, Zoom, doesn't matter, whatever, and effectively put your opponent on a hand. Say, what do I think they have in this situation given their betting patterns? How can I exploit their betting range once I find out what sort of hands they have? So for an opponent, so someone on a board, say that you have, pocket 9s, the flop comes jack, 10, 3 rainbow, and my opponent checks to me after raising pre. If I, somehow realize that when he checks, when he doesn't c-bet, he's weak. So clearly, if I'm in position, I'm looking to bet in that spot. So exploiting betting patterns, exploiting obvious betting signs. So a lot of players, a lot of regs that I've come across are snap check folding. They're snap checking to the river when they've got like 4s on a 7 king deuce board. It's just so exploitable that I just find it so difficult to believe that people are saying that Zoom poker is not beatable. It's so beatable. You just have to adjust. 7-8 suited. Raising it up. I'm talking so much that I'm like timing out on almost every table, which is fine if I don't time out, but if I do, it's going to get confusing for you guys. Oh my, like if I have kings and I'm talking about the 7-8 suited hand. But I'll try my best. You guys obviously have been enjoying a lot of the content. Here, I'm just going to pump it up. I mean, something that I found also a huge strategy that has been working for myself is with the kings here. Obviously, I'm pot betting it here because I'm out of position. There is an under the gun raise. However, I'm not going to be scared of aces when I have kings because the likelihood of them having aces is not very high. And if they do and we get it in, oh well. We still have outs. That's a fold with the ace queen. So we can flat here or jam. This player's 4-betting a decent amount. Flatting's okay. We're out of position though. We don't really want to. What do we flop a boat with deuce 5? I think we're just gonna get it in, guys. Jammy whammy, as they call it. If he has aces, that's like cooler. Here's a cooler for us. Deuce 5, we're gonna bet. What can you do? I mean, we have kings there, guys. Like, that's a reg, so they could be doing that with queens. They could be doing it with ace-king suited. They could be on the opposite of a heater, which is obviously a huge downswing this session. They could be just starting to throw their money around. That's fine. I'm happy to get it in that situation. And if they show up with aces, then that's poker. It happens. So with ace 8 deuce, we folding that. Jack 10 will open it up. So it's important not to be results orientated. So yeah, we got it in with kings and we came against the bullets, but that happens And especially when you're playing Zoom poker, because the variance will be way more severe because you're playing so many more hands an hour, especially at 4 tables. You can go up to 1,200, 1,300 hands an hour depending on how tight or loose you're playing. Jack 10's a fold now that this player leads at us. Yeah, we can see bet this ball. We have backdoor. We have a gut shot straight draw. With the 3s, we have to give that one up. We can check back now. They're letting us get that free card, which helps a lot. If this player has, for example, Queen 10, we're getting value here, so we may as well bet a decent amount. Putting a player on Queen 10, Queen Jack, King Queen maybe. I feel like they should 3-bet more. They are short stacked though, so we will mark them as a wreck player. Deuces on the button, deep stacked, with players behind to act the deep stacked. Let's play that one. Queens will be potting that. We'll have a note on this player. 4-bet pre and calls a jam with Jack. So let's raise a little bit extra. This player might be compelled to do the same again. We're going to flat with the King Queen suited because we have enough stack here to sort of play on the flop. I think this player has folded to a jam before. They're a nit by the look of it, but it's only a very small sample. We can just flat here, I think. We are out of position. Let's get it in. Once again, if they have kings or aces, then this is how you lose 2 buy-ins with variance. So they do fold. So as I said, I think that I've played that player before and they've folded in that spot before. And I'm totally happy with taking 30 big blinds pre-flop with pocket queens. Who wouldn't be at any limit that someone's playing? So that's not a drama. I mean, that player, what are they doing that with to fold? It makes you wonder what they're, raising us with. We're going to isolate this player, mark them as a wreck by limping pre. Not a problem there. Jack 4 is a fold. So a few more minutes left of this first initial video of the series, of the new series of the Zoom 10NL 2015. We're going to flat with the 6s. It's marginal. Some people fold there. I find it pretty difficult to fold a pocket pair in sort of the hijack in that situation. Raise it up. With the deuces, it's a pretty wet board. I mean, we can get, I think if we bet here, it only needs to work sort of 1 in 3 times. We can fold the 6s now. We can check fold that. We've lead out with the ace 10 here. Get checked to us. We could bet again. I mean, 10s aren't folding. 7s obviously got there, so we just sort of check back. We can check here and expect to see a lot of Broadway draws and things like that, or the ace of diamonds with something else. 6s will be... We're just going to smooth call here. That's a great flop. Obviously a huge drawy board though, so we're not looking to smooth call here. If it was like a rainbow without the 10, if it was like Queen 6 8 rainbow, then I'd just smooth call a lot of the time with a set, because we obviously want our opponent to continue firing or catch up with us. So in terms of hand strength, with the 7 deuce, we're obviously chucking that away. Queen Jack is definitely raised. The King 6 off on the button to a limp and an isolate and a flat. Wow, we just fold that. King Queen suited will open. We can barrel this. This is a perfect flop for us to barrel Queen Jack, because obviously we have the 10 for the nuts. We have 2 big scare cards out there for any, like this player, if they have, pocket 10s. What are they defending with here? Could they have ace 9, ace 10? Can we get them to fold? No. Do we check call? Possibly. That 4 doesn't change a lot unless that player's playing 2-5, which is, it's possible. It's not unlikely. Pocket 9s will check back. Yeah, we can just fold here. That's a half pot size bet. Sort of give respect. Back. How did this hand play out? Benefit of the doubt. I know it's like a nitty fold there, but I feel like it's fine. Like they would usually check back any of a king or a queen in that spot, then fire the turn. It's a good turn for 7-8. We'll lead out of position here. There is a flush draw out there. 2, in fact. Queen Jack, we're just throwing that away. King 9, if it gets folded to us, we'll open. And this is another mistake. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say mistake, but this is another thing that I see that possibly people lose value in, is instantly just mucking a hand like King 9 or something on the button. If it gets folded to you and you have the opportunity to raise there, do it. You're going to take down the blinds way more than you think. And the amount of money that you can make from stealing the blinds in Zoom poker is going to be super beneficial for you long term for your win rate. It's not all about getting aces and kings. All right, ace jack. We've got a backdoor nut flush draw. We have obviously top pair, top kicker. We can fire pretty heavily into this. It is three-way, so I mean, if we get raised, we can sort of decide there. But there's no point in sort of checking and being scared of some sort of random, two-pair hand or anything like that on that board ever. Alrighty, guys. Well, this will do for part 1. Thanks for tuning in. It's gone very quick. I look forward to continue recording and making part 2 of the 2015 10NL Zoom Challenge, 100k hands of pure ownage. Let's hope. So, thanks for watching. Hit like if you like it. Comment, please, on anything. Obviously, if you want, I will put down the HUD and PokerTracker and software that I use to record. If you want to do this yourself, go for it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys for part 2 very soon.